This is slightly awkward because the image that I had has gone, but we're here anyway. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Immaterial Gamers livecast on a Wednesday. Not the correct day that it should be going out, but what can you do? Let's start with that actually. As you noticed, there's me, Ryan, and well, yeah. Steph misses me. Well, I miss you as well. Could really have a sort of co-host in this bit, but this screen saying inviting people will have to do. I don't know what initially happened to my little screen. My little fall guy is not here, so that's an unfortunate thing. Maybe actually it's gone through ahead of something. Hold on, let me see if I can bring him back. No, no, okay. Oh, well, kind of. He lives here, and this is this is what's just gonna have to do for now. Aha, got it sorted. So here's how this has worked out. Unfortunately, badly for us, and the reason why you're just going to be hearing my voice for the next 30 to possibly 45 minutes if I can get through this. Podcast was originally supposed to go out as it does on a Monday. Due to a lot of scheduling ideas and the fact that Terry was due for his jab, he wasn't able to host it at the time that Stefan would be around, who was going to co-host for him. So the jab happened, and I decided I was going to try and take a week off, because doing 3 on the bounce was not meant to happen, and certainly 4 on the bounce wasn't meant to happen. Then Tuesday arrived, and Terry was, what's the best way of saying this? Uncontactable due to post-vaccine knockout. So it led to a situation where we got you for the next 2. Okay, cool. I'll read chat as it goes. So Stefan ended up unfortunately being there on his own. I'd already gone, so that wasn't happening. And like I say, Terry was, for all intents and purposes, dead. Not actually dead, but in terms of hosting the podcast, it wouldn't happen. So it's led to today, and again the same schedule issues of trying to organise people around. Everyone's busy. That's just how that is. So I've just come back from work and am ready to try and entertain, and bounce off my Fall Guy friend. Okay. Yeah, possibly. It depends on if they turn up, and then I've got to be really, really quick and remove the Fall Guy so I can get the second person, if possible. So while that's happening, I'm just going to get on with it. We're going to move on with what's been played, and then I'll try and do a little bit of a longer news. And you know what, I'm calling this one the Soapbox podcast, because that just means anyone who does turn up and listens, because there's going to be no one to, Clank Fall Guy there is not going to be able to explain what's going on in the world of Blizzard and all that other stuff. So it's the Soapbox podcast. Hi. So what's been played? Well, Ryan, what have you played? Well, I'm glad you asked. Invisible user, unless Steph wants to type. What have you played, Ryan? Maybe I'll give him a few seconds in order to do this. It almost feels like the way that I'm doing this, it's like a DJ bed, except there's no one. There's no music playing, so it's not like, right, now coming up forward is now song by artist. Just to let everyone know, Steph played Warframe again, still. New Nightwave. So Yeah, there's a new Nightwave event out, which Steph got wings, and he didn't even need to drink an energy drink for it. So, that's how that works. So myself, I've played Spin Rhythm, and anyone who's listened to any of the podcasts or watched any of the early streaming that we've done would be going, Ryan, you played Spin Rhythm months ago, and I'm like, no, I played Spin Rhythm XD months ago. That's the PC version. And there is a mobile app that was part of Super Spin's contractual obligations for producing said games. So they have a mobile app that they co-produced with Habi called Spin Rhythm, a one-finger mobile version of Spin Rhythm XD. So anyone who's not knows what that game is, it's a rhythm game. Well, it's in the title. That's to be expected. Where you've got a wheel on the bottom, and it's got segments and and Steph is also. I'll come back to Steph in a minute, so he can bounce off that. Is yeah. So you got a wheel, and it's got segments, red and blue, and then there's a track because every rhythm game's got to have a track. Most rhythm games have to have a track, and you have to match beats and bops and stuff like that to the wheel that you get to spin. If you going on to further difficulties, there'll be actual bits where you actually have to spin the wheel left or right, or you have to swipe the wheel in order to do a scratch, or there'll be little like tappy bits and beats that you've got to sort of push a different button to do it. It's all to the tune of, a lot of electronic music and dancey bops and stuff like that, and chip tune retro music and the like. So it's still in early access at the moment. Spin Rhythm XD. It's due to go live in the next couple of months as an actual, full release game. Next, though, or what they had to do on the side, and the reason why it's not out earlier than it is fulfilling this commitment to do a mobile game called Spin Rhythm with no XD, and that plays similar to a point. So you've got to take into let's try this again. You got to take into account that you can't do all the actions that you would do on Spin Rhythm on your phone, especially if they're trying to fulfill an idea of doing it that it can be played with one hand or one finger. So some of the bits, or some of the bits that you have to do, are made slightly easier due to the fact that you're doing it on one finger. And at that point, that also changes how the the gameplay of how you go from song to song goes. Because in Spin Rhythm XD, you had a song and you had various difficulty levels, and depending on how difficult you chose it, determined how much of the song that you would play. Easier levels, they were slightly truncated to try and progress you onto the harder difficulty levels in order to play the full songs. And they've changed that during design in early access on what difficulty levels, or what's the minimum difficulty level before you play a full song, based on how you go through that. Spin Rhythm, the mobile game, doesn't have that. What it does do is, what's the best way of saying it? It puts them into little challenge blocks. So you'll choose a song, and you'll play a little segment of it that they call the intro, just to introduce you on how to do it. Survive to the end, and you'll then load up the encore, which is a sort of another segment played, a little bit more difficult and add little more features into it from there. Survive the encore, and then you get the challenge mode, which gives you as close to as full of the song as you're going to get, and then you and you get all the way to the end of that, you've maxed out the song and everything's fine. Plays exactly the same as normal spin rhythm. If you miss notes, you start losing HP, and if you run out of HP, you fail the song. In the mobile version on that, HP doesn't regenerate compared to XD, so it adds that sort of feature in. And it's got energy and it's got revives, just like you usually do, like every other mobile sort of game. What Spin Rhythm does different to XD is that they have a mode. Well, I think it's like a DJ mode or something like that, where it will mix two songs together. So you'll then play half of one song and then half of another. Same sort of features, same limited HP, and as you go through there. So I'm mostly enjoying it, other than the fact that my big fat finger every now and again can just screw up full clears that I would like to achieve, and yeah, other than that, there is a lot of ads. It's ad supported, it's microtransaction supported. If you're not fans of those, this isn't going to help. They do have an ability where you can just pay. I mean, it's a free app, as a lot of mobile games are, and then two of your Great British pounds would turn off ads, or at least it would turn off ads in between things. There's still the old ad supported business of watch this advert to get double crystals, which are what you use to level up, or double coins, which you use to purchase new songs. I say new songs, it's the same. It's the same library of, or same soundtrack in XD that is in the mobile game, except some of them you earn from leveling up, and some you earn from a combination of leveling up and spending coins, which persuades you to use the DJ mix mode in order to play the game from there. So we move on to what Stefan's also played, which he said he's been playing a game called Trading Legend, and it's a business building game for mobile. It's not an AFK thing, I assume. I mean, I'd have to check to see what we've got on this. Let's quickly check. Trading Legend. Yes, it's a business sim, and that's everything there is from what that looks like. Just have to see where we go on that. Let's have a quick look and just see if we can learn where Steph gave us the small business for it. Let's see. Oh, this looks exactly like what you would expect it. Serve custom. All right, okay. Almost looks like Fallout Shelter, but for in a Chinese period setting. And it looks like you just have to do the usual business of building businesses and earning money, and this is great. This is what's Ryan not played. Let's have Ryan explain what he's not played as if he's played it. Yeah, that's a feature. There's a lot of guides and nowhere that tells us how you bloody play it though. So yeah, that looks like a thing. And like Steph said, the new Nightwave's out, and at least I can explain that. A Nightwave in Discord, in Warframe, is a sort of like a seasonal event, in which you follow the trail of stories of an investigative DJ known by Nora Knight. She sort of explains about big threats to the solar system, and you, as your Warframes, you go ahead and you do your missions as normal, and you unlock bits of the story from there. The first, the first couple of series, because they split into series, and then in between each series, there's an intermission where you just get sort of bonus stuff for that. Now, they had 3 series: the Wolf of Saturn 6, which added a couple of mobs in every now and again to just get in the way of you your things, your missions. The emissary, which I don't actually remember because I didn't play it. I'll be fair. Glassmaker, which I felt was probably the biggest departure from all the rest. Um, so every time, or sort of every week or period of the of Nightwave, you would do like a first-person investigation bit, where like the main enemy of the series, in this case the Glassmaker, um, would sit there and taunt you while you then tried to figure out how he glassed, killed effectively, each of these people that he was stalking, and ended in a giant boss fight with mechanics and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool, and I liked that. What I liked about Series 3 of that is that if you missed out Nightwave, you could still fight the big boss just as a sort of an extra node on the map, for you to do. All you need to do is just sort of buy something with creds during the intermission, and you could go ahead and do it. So there's a new um, there's a new Nightwave that is not mentioned on the Warframe wiki, which is usually kept up to date a bit better than this. But let's see what it's actually called. Is this what it's called? Nora's Choice? Yes. Okay. Nah, right. That's just seems to be it. Do stuff as part of your normal Nightwave, and you get random gifts that you can get from Nora. Okay. Not the biggest story that's come up, but at least it's something different there. So I think that's about the best of what's being played as could be discussed at the moment. So, what we're going to do is we're going to move to news. Let's see, how long have we been running this podcast for? 15, 20 minutes, which is fine. What it does mean is I can just sit there and take my time and discuss some of the stories that had come out. So, last week, because we have to do with a feature that I'm not going to do a sing-song voice for because it would be highly inappropriate, but we'll call it the what the fuck has happened with Blizzard update for the week. So when you last left us, let's have a look. I'll check our news feed on our Discord, and yeah, where we'd last left it. Oh yeah, we had. Oh, I've forgotten her name. As Kotaku would call her, the torture apologist. Yeah, that's it. Fran Townsend, that's her name. Had been blocking employees on on um, on Twitter who were critical of her reposting an article called "The Problem with Whistleblowing." So it didn't exactly work out very well in terms of her trying to diffuse the situation at Blizzard by outright baiting people into getting blocked. So, that didn't work. What happened after the podcast is that she's got rid of her Twitter account altogether. So, as an executive, as a public facing executive, making sure that you don't get contacted whatsoever seems to be the biggest thing to do from that. But then, a day after we did the podcast, so that we did the podcast on Monday last week. One day after, and the bigger news at Blizzard that had happened at that point was their president, J. Allen Brack, left. Resigned with immediate effect, and is moving on to bigger and brighter things, apparently. Well, we say that, bigger and brighter things. We don't know whether he was actually forced out or pushed out or just looked at the better thing and went, this is untenable for me, I've got to leave, but he left. So, I mean, Brack was there for the entire of the shitstorm that's happened with Blizzard over the past 2 years, 3 years, from the whole do you not have mobile phones Diablo Immortal incident to his lackluster apology regarding the Blitzchung Hong Kong independence issue that happened during a Hearthstone tournament, and, well, of course, he was still around during the investigation by California's Department of Fair Housing and Employment, and lard his way through that investigation as well. So, not surprising. Is it big news? Well, it is big news. Is it news that changes what's happening at Blizzard? No. No. Still getting sued, still getting investigated. This has not placated anyone. In fact, it just seems to be, it's a bit like the Ubisoft stuff from the year before and the Riot stuff from the year before that, of, right, who's the biggest public-facing person that we can just shove out the door to make you not think badly of us and buy our games? Exactly the same. The cycle has continued. It's going to be no different. What was slightly different in that Blizzard now replaced the CEOs. It's now joint CEOs or presidents. Jen O'Neill and Mike Ibarra are co-heads of Blizzard. There, so Jen O'Neill has been part of Vicarious Visions, who did the updated, the rebooted Crash and Spyro stuff, and Crash Team Racing, and hopefully in the near future Crash Bash. Yeah, some people like that game. Yeah. I was just saying now, Blizzard, I know you won't see this, or like Activision, I know you won't see this, and I know we're taking, we're saying this. Crash Bash, thank you. Well, sort out your house first. Get yourself sorted. Don't actually sort it out by just getting your cleaner crew of your lawyers, Wilmer Hale, to just union bust everyone out there. Sort it out properly. Get everything back in. Regain, customers and fans' faith. Then Crash Bash. Yeah? It's not going to happen, is it? No, it won't happen, but, one could dream. So, yeah, that happened on the Tuesday last week, and then recently, stuff's been a bit iffy. Employees are still looking at whether they are going to do another a boycott, actually, this time, and an actual, full-on strike, as opposed to the regular walkouts that they're planning on doing, and have already done one of. But according to Axios, who just pick up stories regarding, news, they're an American news, so I don't know much of them. I think the last time I remember Axios was a interview between sort of a journalist and Donald Trump in the White House that was awkward, and yeah, so big for that. And I just do remember watching a bad lip reading video, which obviously took the mick out of that particular interview. But journalist, oh god, Brian, get this right, please. Megan Farouk-Manesh, please say that was right. Broke out an exclusive the 10th of August, so that was yesterday. So be thankful that we can be thankful of any delays that have happened in regards to the podcast. At least that's the reason that we can do that. Yeah, so it's one thing for your employees to say, right, your responses to everything's inadequate, we're walking out. It's another thing for heads that are not the heads that need to roll, saying this is inadequate, this is unacceptable. People always say hit a company where it really, really hurts them, and that's the money, the finances. So that had already sort of happened. That's something else that had come up. That shareholders at Activision are planning to sue the company for overinflating stock. Pretty simply, just the idea of sort of falsely getting shareholders to put money into the company, knowing that this situation regarding the harassment, disparities in gender, sex, race, and the sexual abuse, you know, kept that under the rug to just say, please invest in our company. We make multi-millions of pounds because we don't pay any tax. Um, that's the, that's also confirmed news, by the way. I could just throw the word allegedly everywhere, but according to Axios, I'll get there eventually. A shareholder group called SOC Investment Group are also not happy with Activision's and Bobby Kotick's response and usage of the law firm Wilmer Hale in regards to sorting out the shitstorm that's happened and has been there since, let's be honest, since the early 2010s and was only investigated in 2018. So, yeah, so there was. We'll take some quotes from the Axios article here from the SOC Executive Director Dieter Weisnegger. They're really getting me with the names this podcast. It's just happened. So it was shared, and yeah, the questions there. No changes have been announced or proposed that would in any way alter the current process for filling vacancies, either to the boards of directors or to senior management. Basically, you're not solving the the equal opportunities diversity issue. You're still doing everything internally and screwing everyone over. No changes have been announced in regards to executive pay, either with respect to clawing back compensation from executives of fans who have engaged in or enabled abusive practices, or to align executive with equity goals. Kotick articulated. Yeah, if you really do have time to have a read, you can read Bobby Kotick's "I'm sorry" statement online. There's a lot going there, but yeah, there's the idea of generally if you can push people out the door and they can resign regarding to or instead of actually firing them like they did with the former Quest and narrative designer Alex Afrasiabi, who turned out was fired for the sexual abuse and not sexual abuse, the sexual harassment issues that everyone had already knew had happened and just let slide. And yeah, the reason he was quietly fired at that point was because this was coming up. So yeah, that didn't work out well either. And then the announced review by Wilmer Hale is deficient in a number of ways. This firm has a sterling reputation as a defender of the wealthy and connected, but it has no track record of uncovering wrongdoing. The lead investigator does not have in-depth experience investigating workplace harassment and abuse, and the scope of the investigation fails to address the full range of equity issues Mr. Kotick acknowledges. Yeah, basically, we don't like the lawyers you brought in because this is going to do more harm than good. And I mean, let's be honest. To think of it, we know the bottom line. We know these investors and shareholders are not they're not fully out here for making everything all right in the world again. They're not all rainbow, filled unicorn cupcakes and everything like that. At the end of the day, they don't want to be losing money that they've invested in because of a shitstorm that was not of their own being and losing out on money for it. At the end of the day, it does come down to money, but yeah, maybe it does say something a little bit different when investors are going, right, hold the fuck on. You need to sort this out. So yeah, that's exactly how that should be. And so yeah, so SOC are basically calling on Blizzard to do exactly what the employees at Blizzard have asked for in regards to making sure diversity's there. In addition, they say the money that you give to these executives that didn't deserve it because they caused all this crap in the first place, living the life of Riley somewhere else, that needs to go back, and then an actual review of practices at the company that's not bringing in the lawyers to shut everyone up. At that point, they're not really lawyers, are they? They're cleaners. If you were to put it towards, like, I don't know, organized crime, then yeah, it'd be closer to cleaners. Just make everything disappear. Just get off the side. Off the side. So yeah, so that's the what the fuck has Blizzard been up to catch up for the week, and if anything else comes up, we'll discuss it on next podcast. So that's that. So moving to other news, and I do like this one. I like the one I'm going to discuss in a minute. I'll talk about the other one, the other big news in a minute. So we all know what people love Riot for. When you get out of the the issues that have that have come up in regards to Riot's own practices, what people love Riot for is, well, League of Music. They love their music. In regards to the games and the fact that Riot Games now can actually say they are Riot Games and not Riot Game, is a thing. But everyone loves music, and Riot Music Group are very good for their music. Between the whole KDA blow up that had happened, and True Damage, and sort of the sort of longer form music pieces to go with their video content and events that are happening across their games. They're very good, but what everyone remembers about Riot Music before they were as such was Pentakill, the heavy metal band that would do that would do songs based off items in game and stuff like that. Led by lead vocalist Carthus, Yorick, the drummer of Olaf, Mordekaiser playing bass, Sona on heavy metal harpsichord, and then recently bringing in an additional vocalist in the form of Kale. So, what they have teased as of this morning, according to .esports, is that there may be a there's a vague graphic that come up, and it just says 9th or the 8th of September 2021. Hashtag Return of Legends. Hashtag 3. So people have took that into account because Pentakill have, as a band, got 2 albums, Pentakill 1, Pentakill 2. So seeing hashtag 3 kind of pretty much gives it away that there's going to be a new heavy metal Pentakill album out, possibly. .esports said that creative director Christian Link said there'll be in March last year though, saying there'll definitely be another Pentakill album that features original music and 10 songs or so. Now, if that comes out, I mean, we're gonna have to wait for I don't know, a month for that to happen. What I would love is that there is another character coming out. So generally, characters in League of Legends get revealed in terms of a theme. And this year's theme was Ruination, to deal with the whole Ruin King event with Viego and Akshan, Gwen, and then there is a Yordle coming out, the Gloomy Mage, Vex or Hex. I think it's Vex. I'll just double check that. Yeah, it's Vex. Vex the Gloomy Mage, who did appear in the Sentinels of Light event, and is also due to be released in September. But what I would really love is if they immediately get Vex in as a member of Pentakill. If you're going to line these up, if Vex is due to come out in mid-September, and the Pentakill album is due to come out in September, well, teased to come out in September, then Vex playing flute. I don't know. Can you do heavy metal flute? Would be something to think about. Can easily do that. Heavy metal flute. Get in touch. So that's that. And then there's one other bit of news that'll come up, and know what? This is good at the moment. 36 minutes. We can get to 40 minutes. That's easy enough. Maybe because I could also do this as an oddist. I would love to say for people to do this. But yeah. So it is video game related. So last year, as a joke, me and Steph went and saw Sonic the Hedgehog on Valentine's Day. No. Before that's even questioned, no. It was funny. We enjoyed the film. It was all right for a video game movie. It was good. I enjoyed it. So of course there was going to be a sequel, and they teased it at the end. You know, this little buddy cop road trip happened, and then Sonic lives happily ever after, and everything's great. And then out of a ring portal comes Tails, because of course Tails does. What they also announced at that point is that Knuckles was going to be announced as a character that would appear in the sequel. And the last time we saw Echidnas was at the beginning of the film, where they all threw arrows into an owl surrogate mother figure. Well, I didn't say it was all family friendly, did I? So yeah, there's a certain actor teased on their Instagram yesterday a picture of a white glove with red fur and two knuckles sticking out of it, to say that they were going to be playing, basically that they were going to be playing Knuckles, or the voice of Knuckles, in the next film. With the caption, "Knock knock." And that actor, who seems to be absolutely everywhere these days, is Idris Elba. Is there a film that Idris Elba will not do? I mean, he's just come off being in the Suicide Squad, taking over Will Smith as character Bloodsport. I mean, he didn't take over Will Smith because he was right. Will Smith was Deadshot in the original Suicide Squad, and Idris Elba takes on the other character, Bloodsport, because they wanted to keep Deadshot just in case Will Smith decided he wanted to come back and didn't have, shooting issues or marital issues or issues. So yeah, so we've got Idris Elba playing Knuckles, and I'm just trying to think in my head who could have also played the character, who also voice that. I mean, to be honest, I didn't have a fucking clue who would have voiced it in the first place. I thought they would have got, I don't know, Nolan North, the usual voice actors. No. Let's get Idris in. That seems to work. I mean, based on that point, who else could we have got there? We could have got John Cena to go in. Michael B. Jordan could have made a Knuckles. I mean, absolutely everyone. But yeah. Looking forward to that now. We might make it another funny bet. Oh, what could have worked quite nicely, Martin? Yeah, actually. Oh, yeah, that would have worked. John Cena. Yeah. Just having John Cena as Knuckles coming in, just going, "You can't see me," and then boom. But I think he's too busy like filming absolutely everything under the sun as well. He's just come off Fast 9, the Suicide Squad, and also his character, Peacemaker, is also having his own spin-off series. And this was before this was announced and fully set up for a season of 6 episodes before the Suicide Squad even released. So, that's a thing. So yeah, if you're looking to get a, I mean, I'd actually like to see how if Elba is going to do his American accent that he started off when like everyone watched him in The Wire. Was it The Wire or was it The Shield? Or was it The Shield? I don't know. Hold on, Idris. See, I don't watch all Elvis stuff. Let's see. Yeah, he was Luther. The Wire. It was The Wire. See, I should have a lot more faith in myself. In regards to that. So yeah, that's basically the gaming news that we've got for that and for this week. So what we'll do is we'll take this into wrap up. What I'll say is we've not done it for a while. We'll just discuss what we're actually doing on Immaterial Games from there, because there has been a lot of change since in the past couple of months in regards to sort of our priorities on where we're going forward from there. And anyone who does, or has recently joined us, probably go, "What the hell did we do? And what were we doing for 3 years before we eventually decided that Twitch was the right idea?" So we're Let's Players and podcasters, and we look to do other stuff on the idea of maybe doing video essays and other challenges. We like to do something called the video game challenge, where generally I open my big fat mouth, say I can do something, proceed not to do it, and then everyone laughs while I do some punishment. That's due to come up at that point. I do need to organise with Darius and practice a music video so I can Greek it, because that failed. But what I also am looking to do, we did discuss it in video game challenge codename Cutscene Countdown, that as Stefan had won. Oh, hello, hello, autofocus. Thank you, because I was just leaning down for a second. You decided you couldn't see my face, so thank you for that. Yeah, Stefan, as the winner of Cutscene Countdown, was going to become a host of a video game challenge himself. So I do need to discuss that with him. But what we're looking to do, and what we do at the moment, so we seem to be live streaming at this point, generally, providing nothing all falls over, 5 days a week. Thursday through Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, Thursday through Monday. And a lot of the stuff that's being streamed is taking over what we used to do as Let's Play series on YouTube. So we had Play Session, which is our group stream where we just play party games or multiplayer games or anything that we deem funny, or we could play, do what we did last week and play a single player game together. Because that happens. I mean, that was stretching into Better Together territory, which is another series. The siblings, Duncan and Andrea, play long form. Generally, it's like long form RPGs, single player RPGs as a pair, and just do what they need to do. And then when they get bored of that and they actually like to compete with each other, they also do sibling rivalry, which again, sort of mano a mano or gamer a gamer fights in anything, because this happened. They played Pokemon Bingo. They tried to outdate each other in Monster Prom. Recently, they actually did a fighting game. It was a BlazBlue game, and most recently, Pokemon Showdown. Just used a web app and just like, well, let's just pick up 6 of our favorite Pokemon in a theme and we'll just kick the shit out of each other. So that happens there. And then I do Going Rogue and RPN. Going Rogue is not generally my idea. It's just that no one else has played a roguelike game yet. And RPN is me and occasionally a co-pilot going through RPGs through there as well. It's almost like Better Together, but not quite. Then Terry, every now and again, does survival or crafty, or as he's been doing recently, X4 Space Sims, whenever he damn well pleases. That's how that works. Better Together has been going on as a series, but has also been going live. There's been some testing on that. They're currently playing. Well, they've sent me stuff for Persona 5 because that's still going, and will probably be going for the next 4 years yet. And also currently playing the new World Ends With You game, Neo, The World Ends With You. Or if you've not got time, Neo Twee. What else have we got? I haven't actually got any regular ones on that. Of course, there's the podcast, which if you do see this later, we can talk about that. But we are planning to do some more stuff. I want to do it. I just need to get people on board with it. Looking to do a sort of review series of the upcoming League of Legends Arcane animated series when it comes out on Netflix. And I don't know if it's going to come out as one big chunk and we just do an entire series review and it's just one and done, or if we just go through each episode one at a time, however many there are, once a week. So that's an idea. We'll try it again because we did try it with Shattered Reflections, and we could still bring that back. So it'd be nice to see if there's like a timer that we could do. If like another series of Black Mirror actually happened. But then again, knowing how Netflix is with Black Mirror, it could have already dropped yesterday and no one was told as part of one of their weird experiments. So, that's the thing. So yeah, so that's what we're planning to do, and the more that we can sort of get a viewer base and a community, we can do that. So what I am going to do on there at that point is wrap the podcast up by explaining how you can join us as a community. So I'll talk about it as if we were on YouTube first. So if you're on YouTube and you see this video, thank you for watching and getting this far. Believe me, it's been an experience. You can give us a subscribe on YouTube, and you can just check the description below for our Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/immaterialgamers, which you're also, if anyone is watching this live, is also seeing now. But if you want to be notified about when we do go online for any of these weird, wild Twitch streams that we do, you can give us a follow. And with your notifications, as long as you turn smart notifications off, you'll be notified when we go live. So that'll be cool. And you can say hi, and we can have a chat through there. If you do want to support us on a financial side, you can give us a subscriber on Twitch. All the usual tiers are there, depending on where you're from. Could be cheap, could be cheerful. Anything to go with that will help us improve improve the setups that we're doing, and we'll just go straight towards making sure we can give it a better experience for everyone who's watching, and we can then sort of work on other projects from there. All our social medias are on both the YouTube and the Twitch. So we have the Facebook, we've got the Twitter. There we go, I know it, and an Instagram, which we occasionally remember still exists. So that's a thing as well there. And if you're listening to this, or if you want to listen to it, we are available on Amazon, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We have an RSS feed where you can just download them if you want. And like I say, occasional episodes appear on other places. Like there's still that one episode that appeared on iHeartRadio. We never signed up to iHeartRadio, but it ended up on there. Probably just got caught in the RSS feed, just how it is. But we're at 50 minutes, give or take a couple of minutes, so I'm going to wrap this up. I said that already, but what can you do? I'm going to go now, so I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, or night, or wherever you are, and we'll be back. Let's think. Whenever we damn well please. So, have a good one. We'll see you soon.